Well, today is officially The Walking Dead Day as the new season kicks off tonight. Since it is that time of the season, I thought I would share some of my thoughts on the current state of The Walking Dead and the future of the franchise. Just to be abundantly clear, the opinions contained in this video are not exactly in the franchise's favor and therefore might elicit an excessively defensive response from some people in this fanbase. Word to the wise, if you cannot handle the critique in this statement, you might want to click away now while you still have the chance. You have been warned. For anyone that does not know me personally and or doesn't follow me on social media, I am a fan of The Walking Dead. I have been watching the show and reading the comic for the past 5 years. I've engaged in numerous discussions with other fellow fans, analyzed the story arcs and character profiles to the point where I've experienced some sleepless nights and a greatly irritated husband due to my excessive pondering. Needless to say, I am a hardcore fan of this series. However, over the past 2 years I found myself, maybe not drifting away from the show, but definitely losing faith in it. The writing has grown increasingly sloppy, and there have been a number of very poor decisions on behalf of both the showrunners and the producers upstairs. Season 7 was a sharp fall in quality from the previous seasons, and Season 8 was, to put it charitably, a garbage fire approximately the size of California. Some have traced the decline of the show to showrunner Scott Gimple, but I don't buy that. Gimple was also responsible for my favorite seasons of the show, 4 and 5. The bad decisions that crippled the last 2 years of the show appear, at least to my mind, to have been imposed on the production team from above. Executive meddling at AMC seems like a likelier culprit. I've liked what I've seen thus far in terms of Season 9's promotional material, so I will approach tonight's premiere with an open mind as much as possible. But given that the show's central actor, Andrew Lincoln, is going to be leaving this season, I'm not exactly optimistic about The Walking Dead's future prospects once he's gone. And I view with a great deal of skepticism AMC's proclamation that they have enough ideas to keep the franchise going for another 10 years. I don't think there is much of a future for stories set in this universe. There's a limit to the number of original stories you can tell in a zombie apocalypse scenario. The owners of such franchises as Star Wars or Game of Thrones have a bit more latitude. In the first case, the galaxy is a very big place, while in the second, there remains a great deal of history as yet unexplored. There's still room for more stories there, and I'm not convinced that's the case with The Walking Dead, which I think has already begun to recycle old ideas. This is a problem with the comic as well. Robert Kirkman has been writing it so long that he's started repeating himself. There's only so many times you can rehash the same plot before people catch on and begin to grow bored of it, and The Walking Dead has suffered for this. And although I don't watch Fear the Walking Dead, I gave up on it 2 seasons ago, the word from the fandom surrounding it suggests they're beginning to have the same problem. From the feedback I've heard, it sounds like the production staff is struggling to figure out which way to go with Fear, and have been writing in circles in the meantime. The ultimate question regarding The Walking Dead, I think, is this. Can it possibly remain relevant 10 years from now? Or even 5 years? Or 2? Sure, anything is possible, as the saying goes. But I can't say I'm optimistic about their chances, given that they're killing off so many of their central characters and leaving the story in the hands of characters who, while I like them, are just not as central as Rick and Carl Grimes. Rick and Carl were the focus of The Walking Dead, the story's anchor. When Carl was bumped off and Chandler Riggs was written out, it cut out a piece of the show's heart. And I feel personally that the departure of Rick and Andy Lincoln will tear out the rest of it and leave the series adrift. How common is it for a show to go on long-term without its main character? The Walking Dead is not an ensemble piece, no matter how many interesting characters it may have. All those characters, like it or not, are in orbit around Rick Grimes, and when he disappears, the thing most responsible for the coherence of The Walking Dead will be gone. This is the conclusion to my thoughts. I am curious to know what yours are. Do you agree? Disagree? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I will be working on putting together a review of the Season 9 premiere when time permits. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Lindsay, signing off.